So with Sorcerer, what we do is begin with two statements. The first one is that sorcery and demons for our game will involve shadows and beauty. Whatever else it is, their shadows are involved and beauty is involved. And so no other specification. Now, the other statement is that I would like to ask you, either of you, if there is a region of France that is very well known to you, that you would be comfortable explaining the culture or naming locations or making it easy for us to move our camera wherever we want in it.
Mine, of course, but like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
So where would that be?
I'm living around Marseille.
Okay.
So in this region, south of France, basically.
Okay. And so if you were to think of people or cultures or issues or geography or anything of that region, Gregory, if you could also think about what you know anyway of the area, if anything, that would be useful. So I think we will set it there. And we will also then specify one more thing, a little bit dramatic or genre-like. I think events in France right now are very exciting to me, very interesting. I'm following them carefully. It's a lot easier when you don't watch American news. And so, which is easy for me. And so then I would like to suggest that we concern ourselves with bringing ideals into politics, bringing ideals into daily life and social action. And so then you can imagine all sorts of interesting, dramatic issues that appear when people try to do that or when this is happening. So whatever seems most interesting to you. So if we were to make up sorcerers with these statements as our primary guides, now it's time for us to take a look at some of the rules and see what we can find. Now, we could just go conceptually, or we could take a look at the rules themselves and examine some of the options, or we can, again, we could go just by concept and then look and see how the rules make that happen. Either way is fine. So now's the time. You are encouraged to work independently. You don't have to match your character to the other character or contrast your character to theirs or make them consistent or anything like that. That doesn't matter. So any ideas or thoughts are welcome, or if you want to just take a couple of minutes to think a little.
Thinking.
Okay.
Just thinking about
sure.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, you could look at the options in the game, particularly the understanding that the sorcerer character has chosen the relationship that they have with their demon, and that they are already getting what they want by using it. They are already accomplishing something enough to maintain this kind of relationship. So we are not very interested in origin stories, how I became a sorcerer. Or, oh no, I am a sorcerer, what shall I do? None of that's not really all that necessary. You can do a little bit of that, but so are you familiar? I think both of you are familiar with the options about the descriptions of the sorcerer, the terms you choose, or should we look at that? Or
I've never played it before,
I see.
so I'm
okay.
like...
Well, there's lots of the interesting. I guess it's a potentially a problem. There is a checklist of things to do, but they have no order.
Okay.
So that's why I'm being kind of vague, because I don't want to make it go in the order that I would do. So let me give you some options. We could begin by thinking about the character as a sorcerer and think in terms of the demonic activities that they command and what they get from doing it. We could think instead about a portrait of the character in several different ways, physically, in terms of their personality, and in terms of what doing their sorcery looks like. And we could also think in terms of relationships and goals and activities that they are active in. And any of those is a perfectly good starting point.
Just, I think there's a district in Marseille that is totally like anarchist, no?
Uh-huh.
Do you know about this?
No.
La Rousse?
I have no idea. I mean, is it dans les quartiers nord? You know?
I don't remember where exactly, but I think there's really like an autonomous district.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is this.
Things
Marseille is very well known because you have like some part of the city which is like the person living there. They're kind of like autonomous, you know?
Yeah, that's
like
it.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And what's the name of the district?
Quartier Nord.
Okay, no, it's not there. Okay.
Yeah, like I've never been there because it's like if you're not living there, it's a little bit not advisable to go. So you just
now I'm getting very interested now.
Okay.
We will learn a little bit more. I will get the right name and everything a little bit later, and I will do a little research later.
Because I have the book just in my library. I just have, but yeah.
Okay, so all right.
But I'm not exactly from Marseille, so I don't like. I've been working there a little bit, but like I'm not a citizen.
Okay.
So I know more of like the countryside, basically.
That's fine. So Gregory, with that kind of an political autonomy or perhaps anarchism in mind, does something occur to you to play with for that?
Yeah, I think so. So I think there's this autonomous districts, but like with, like Laura said, it's very. There's a lot of people. Like it's a lot of streets. Actually, it's not just a few streets. And you have autonomous squats. You know, a local economy, this kind of stuff. And I think about, I mean, it's very blur, but I think about a guy trying to create his own hell in some kind of way. Right? Well, it's its own paradise with its own rules, like outside of the capitalist system.
Sure.
And so I think with a demon, this kind of guy would find a place in this district.
I see. Okay. So maybe he even has a little bit of a community involved, not just himself. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. I kind of like this idea. So what kind of... there are two ways we can go. We can think of this visually and think of the person. What does this person look like? and what do they, what features might define them. There's a list for us to use. Or you can tell me a little bit about the sorceress acts and what they look like. If you are in this particular area, what is it like, and how does the demon's activity make it possible for him to do what he does?
Okay.
For example, is he aware of everything that happens in it?
No. No. I think it will be some kind of distant of the whole community, but he will use what he knows, like his sorcery and stuff, to keep his little place inside this whole community, and to protect the whole autonomy of the whole community.
Sure. So that would mean that we have kind of a location to work with. And it also means that we should think about the demon itself. Remember, it can be, and this can help you, Laura, a demon can be like a person or animal or other moving creature that everybody thinks is an ordinary one. Or it can be an extraordinarily abstract being whose physical presence doesn't have to obey any laws or perception that we care about. Or it can be any number of things in between. It could be, for example, a strange object, or it could be it could even be something that relies on someone else's body to live inside their body, or even in the most extreme form would require a body to control in order to have a physical existence. So this is a wide range of things to choose across. And so if you were thinking about this demon, if you really wanted to be extreme, you could even say the demon was that small location. Actually, the demon was the object of the building, or an object there that defines this special location, if you want it to be that extreme. Or perhaps the demon is something else entirely, and that this is just the effect of what it can do.